Guys, I just wanted to start off and really, I wanted to thank Father Leahy, our administration, our doctors, our trainers. It's been hard, and our guys have done an incredible job of staying safe, of being safe, and really since we've been here and since we started our initial quarantine, we had no positive cases. And if you look, I got to thank the doctors and the trainers, and then most importantly, our football. He hasn't been, and we've asked him to do a lot. And if you ask around, it's not like that everywhere. So this team right now, I'm so appreciative and so thankful for them and what they've done and what they've sacrificed. It says so much about them. And without the support from the doctors and the great protocol that we have, we wouldn't be in this position right now. And I know it could change. I get it. But for them to do everything that they've done from the start when we got here and we asked them to really give up everything, they did. And those guys need to get a lot of credit for it. And I'm grateful for that, for the buying. It's been awesome. So hopefully you got me that time. And now we can ask questions.
Coach, this is Levin Reed from WBZ. I just heard you talk about the players. Student athletes are asked as much as anybody else during this time period to kind of step up and make sure that you mentioned earlier that the program can move forward. You're impressed by them, but how important is it for you to say, this was great, but you guys got to keep going?
Yeah, that's everything. And what I told them that night, I said, guys, it's what you've done for this last month. I mean, it's incredible. And this is just the start because it's going to get harder. And, I keep putting it on the team. If you truly love each other and you want to do this for each other, then you not only have to protect yourself, and we have to help protect you, but you got to do it for the guy next to you. So the sacrifices that they've made, and, it is going to get harder, and they know that. We just keep talking to them. It's not even close to done. But we're off to a really good start.
Coach, with the schedule coming out today, just to put a concrete date on the fact that you're able to have a game day coming up ahead, even though it's over a month away, just what did that mean for you and for the team to finally get that date?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I think the guys were really just looking forward to seeing, hey, when are we playing? And now that they see the date, now it's like, okay, now let's go to work. So it kind of came out as we started practice, so I haven't really talked to the guys, but I know they'll be fired up to see that concrete date set, and they'll be excited.
And kind of in line with that, switching in from workout mode to being able to go to full practice, what entails with that? What were you doing before that you're now able to do when you move into full practice mode, and how are things shifting and changing? I know this is only just the first day.
Yeah, well, up until this moment, it's really been a lot of strength and conditioning to try to get these guys acclimated, get their bodies right, so we can be in the position to actually go and practice. We were able to do some walkthrough stuff, but today was the day we actually were able to go against each other and do real football drills, and it was great to be back out there. We hadn't been out with each other very much, just a handful of spring practices, so it still felt kind of new and exciting. It still had that new fresh feel, so it was great to be back out here. I wish we could have practiced for another 3 hours today. I was having a blast out there.
Coach, this is David Teal in Richmond, Virginia. How has the pandemic and protocol affected how you structure an actual training camp practice? I mean, do you split groups, units? How is all that working?
Well, the biggest thing is just the organization of everything from the moment we walk in the building, who's able to be in the locker room at the same time, who can be in the position meeting at the same time, what position rooms we can use that are big enough to actually spread out and keep our distance. Being in the training room, who can get their ankles taped. So we've had to be so organized, really, with everything from the moment they walk in the building for breakfast to the moment they walk into our facility, to the locker room, to the training room. That's been the key, just trying to do everything we can. And it's really listening and talking to our doctors and doing the best that we can to make sure that the guys feel safe.
Coach,
Jeff, I was just
sorry, go ahead, Dwayne.
go ahead. You got it.
Coach, earlier this week, quarterback Phil Dracovic got his waiver. What was the impression? What was your reaction when you actually got the news, and how did the team react?
Well, the first thing I wanted to do was call him because I knew kind of been a weight on his shoulders. He's been here since January, and he's been patiently waiting to see if he'll be able to play football. So that's one of the moments as a coach you really look forward to deliver the message that, you know, it worked out, man. You're going to get a chance to go compete and play football this year. You know, so it's pretty emotional, I think, for both of us. You know, because there were times when I'm sure he was frustrated, and you know, we were anxiously waiting to see what was going to happen. But it was one of those fun moments, those fun phone calls, and he was very, very excited. And you can kind of see he's got a little bit of extra pep in his step, and it's fun to see him this happy and getting ready to compete.
Thank you.
Just kind of piggybacking before I ask my question. It's Julian, obviously. Actually, first thing, I think it was just because I didn't have my mic muted that yours was kind of echoing. So I blame me for the audio.
All right.
But
We appreciate it.
But with Jerk, kind of, if you can explain it at least a little bit, what kind of made the process so long and kind of complicated? And then, two, the way that kind of fans and players rallied around him with the hashtag, it sort of late in the end. Like, what was that in terms of just the support for him?
Well, one, I think,
How do you feel about that? How did he feel, and how did you feel about that in terms of the momentum that got in terms of support for him?
well, first, I really would have to get on with the NCAA and ask them. I don't know what took them that long. And
Okay.
I respect that they're busy and they have a lot of probably so much going on right now. So I don't truly have an answer for that one for you. As far as you're talking about like the free jerk hashtags.
Yeah.
It kind of made me laugh when I first saw it. I mean, just like you guys, I thought that was kind of funny. And then I thought it was cool that people were rallying around them. So whoever started that, good job.
And then just in terms of describe, if you can, the past the expectations you had for guys when they got here, where were they at, and kind of how much work did you have to do, or how much work had they done on their own, and then sort of building to the point where you are now, where you can actually.
Yeah. As you guys know, we talked about last, they got here at the end of June. They quarantined for a certain period of time. They were tested. After testing, we were fortunate that, you know, most of our guys were healthy. And that's where the weight room came in. We didn't want to rush in anything because we didn't believe that their bodies were ready. So we slowly got them back in the weight room. We slowly got them back running, and we wanted to build it up. And I told Coach Matus and the staff, you guys, this is your time. We got to get them right. We got to get them ready for the next phase. And then, you know, the next phase, when we got into the 8 hours, there was some more we could do with them. And then we got into the next phase of the 20 hours where we could start the walkthroughs and the 45 minutes of meeting time. So we gradually built this where we want to make sure that it's not just the health of them fighting the virus. We want to make sure our players are physically healthy because they were away from gyms and from running for so long that we can't rush their bodies into this either. Like, truthfully, right now, we're not going to go every single day this first week of hard training camp, practice after practice after practice. I still don't believe their bodies are totally ready for that. So right now we're taking more of a NFL OTA approach where today was a really good practice, a good long hard practice. Tomorrow we're going to slow it down. And then the next day we're going to ramp it up and we're going to slow it down. Then the next day we're going to ramp it up and then it's our day off. And then we'll see where we're at. And if we're ready to go further from there and we feel good about where they're at physically, we'll do more. But I want to be fresh. I want to be fast. And I want it to be fair to these players. They didn't have a whole offseason. So we're fighting this on a lot of different fronts. So I can't just bang my head against the wall and say, we're going to do this like we've always done it. We got to think through this thing and make sure we're taking care of our players. And I think we've got a great schedule for that. And that's where we're at right now. Julian, like I said, really good practice today. Tomorrow we're going to slow it down. We'll ramp it back up.
We got two more questions.
I'm sorry. Don't count this one. What are the challenges of kind of preparing for a season, not knowing, like, whether it's sort of last month or even now? Like, there was a lot of uncertainty about if you guys will play, when the schedule will come out, what might happen over this next month? What are the challenges even to keeping guys engaged, you know?
Well, we've got great kids, and I just kept telling them, control what you can control. And, you know, it's like earlier in the pandemic, when I got home, I was trying to look ahead and trying to figure everything out. And my head was spinning, like my head was going to explode. And then you just learn, you just got to go day by day because you don't know what the next day is going to bring. You got to plan it out, but you can't look so far ahead and get so worried about, no, you got to go one step at a time. You got to keep everybody in the moment doing their best they can every single day to do their best and be at their best. And that's what our guys have done. And I think whoever asked the question earlier, today was probably a really good moment for these guys to see in writing that we're playing on the 12th. And until anybody tells us differently, now we have that goal set forward to get to that date. And we'll do the best we can every single day.
Going back on mute.
Thanks, Joey.
Any more questions for Coach Hafley?
Oh, I'll go.
Oh, good.
Sorry. Up until now, you've had sort of a limited ability to test players head to head, you know, looking for the starting spot and all that. And now that Phil has gotten his waiver for this year, what's the competition looking like for the starting spots? How are you gauging that?
Yeah, I mean, this is really the first time we really get to see these guys in a lot of positions because we were so limited in the spring to get the film and to really see them execute. So I'll say for the quarterback position or for any other position, spots are open. And I know that's cliche coach talk, and that's really probably not what you want to hear, but those guys are going to get reps. Some obviously have to get more than others. But the guys who go out in camp and perform the best and do the best and are the most consistent and do everything we ask of them, those are guys that are going to win the job. And if guys are deserving to play, we're going to get them in the game and play them. So that quarterback one will definitely it will unfold as we get into camp and we have scrimmages and we play ball. And we'll let you know how that's going.
Thank you.
Coach, playing off Julian's question about the prolonged process for Phil, how do you feel about the one-time transfer waiver for all student athletes?
Well, I've had a lot of different thoughts about it. When I first heard about it, you know, getting back from the NFL, when I first heard about it, I was kind of like, wow, that's going to open up a whole can of worms. I think it's coming, and I think it's going to happen pretty soon. So, you know, I understand why. So if it does, I'll be supportive of it, and we'll go full speed ahead. But you know, I'm not gonna worry about it right now because, like I said, I think it's coming down the road next year. And if guys want to transfer and they want to leave and go play somewhere else, they have the right to do that. And then we'll do the best we can.
Thanks for your time, Coach.